basically there was a shooting at a high school in Knoxville, Tennessee. The name of the school is Austin East Magnet High School.
Right.
There were Knoxville Police Department got reports that supposedly there was someone who was armed in the school, and I guess he ended up going on a shooting spree or whatever. But this still sucks, sadly. But luckily, only one person died. Like, this asshole didn't go around and kill fucking 7 to 10 students, and then a police officer got injured. But prayers to that dude that person that died. But that's pretty much what happened.
You want to know some interesting, not in a bad way, about that school? So just this year alone, that school, there's been 4 kids that died already. The same school.
Really?
Yeah.
I
read a report on it on the news. So this school is like notorious for this kind of activity. So just in 2021, there's been 4 or 3 that's already been shot. There was one student who was walking home with another student and watched his friend got shot and died. And they're kids. So I don't know what it is with this country and like killing kids at a school, but
it's not that.
It's like a every other month thing.
Yeah, like I said, I gotta get the exact number, but I know for a fact I seen some shit in March that said when we were in March, we were already at 103 or like 105 mass shootings in the country just for America alone in 2021.
Right.
So now I'm pretty sure with everything that happened after March, the couple of mass shootings that have happened, we're probably at like 110 almost.
Yeah.
Getting there. So like,
this
all goes down to fucking gun control. I don't give a fuck if you're one of those conservative people and you love your fucking guns in the Second Amendment. You don't need a fucking assault rifle. You don't need an assault rifle. If you're a citizen, what the fuck do you have an assault rifle for?
Right.
All you need is a pistol, maybe a shotgun. You don't need an assault rifle, because this is what happens when we have assault rifles. Like, I get everybody wants to have their guns. I'm all for you guys having your guns, but if you're just going to hunt, if you just have guns because like you want to keep your family safe.
I don't think they use assault rifle.
Yes, they do
for hunting. I think those are snipers.
Okay, but yeah, they use just like hunting rifles or snipers or whatever you want to call it. But these mass shootings are being, when we see these mass shootings, these people are being killed. They're not being killed with pistols. They're not being killed with shotguns or hunting rifles.
Mm-hmm.
Except for that dude in Houston a couple years back that was killing the cops. But that's a different story. But anyways, these people are getting killed with assault rifles.
Yeah.
There's no reason for you there's no reason for me to have an AR-15 to protect my family when there's enough pistols that are strong enough and enough shotguns that are legal and strong enough that will do the job if someone broke into my home. You don't need an assault rifle.
Right.
So when these kids, whether this kid that did this was troubled or not, or he's just sick and decided to be an asshole and went to go shoot up his school,
right?
There's no reason for you to have these type of guns. Even if he didn't have this gun, most mass shootings, when homeboy was shooting up the massage parlors, when homeboy a couple weeks ago in Colorado and killed those people in the grocery store, they have assault rifles. You don't need these guns. Yeah. It all comes back down to gun control. So we have to fix that in our country.
Speaking of gun control, Biden has already came out and kind of talked about his a new gun law that he want to propose. And when it comes to the first 2 amendments, it's such a sticky situation because it's like it's so hard to talk about. I'm always kind of in the middle. Like, I'm like, if you want to have guns, I'm for it, but I can see why people don't want it's. So I'm not on one side or the other. I see both positive and both negatives on both sides. Like, one side is gonna be like, well, I need my gun, like, in case of shit happens for protection or hunting, and then on the other side it's like, yo, but all these mass shooting is because our gun law. But what I do agree with is that it's so easy in certain places to get a gun in this country,
where it has to be changed,
where there is no like background checks and like all that shit. Like that needs to be a federal thing. And I do
states.
Yeah, I do agree with that. Just kind of prevent all this shit from happening. But just like anything, when they ban alcohol or stuff like that, people are gonna try somehow, some way to get their hands on
people do that with illegal guns already. Right. So it don't even like, I get what you're saying, but like, before alcohol was illegal, before prohibition, it wasn't like people were out here illegally selling alcohol. It was legal, so people were like, fuck it, I'm gonna go in the store and buy me some alcohol.
Right.
With guns, even with the guns that we have legal, it's still people that'll go out and illegally buy guns, like certain assault rifles and certain guns that are illegal and put attachments and shit on them that are illegal, and they'll still do that illegally. So it like you said, it comes down to the states. This needs to be a federal law, because in California, me and you can get into an argument right now, and I could be like, you know what? I'm gonna get a gun and kill you. And guess I don't have no guns. I don't own a gun. So guess how long if I try to legally go get a gun in California? It's gonna take me a week.
Yeah.
They're gonna put me through a background check. By the time that week happens, I'm gonna probably be gonna calm down and be like, you know what? I'm not gonna kill this nigga no more.
Yeah.
You could go in Georgia, you could go in Texas, places. You could, even in Vegas. Like I learned this from some of my old coworkers when I went to Vegas one time. In Vegas, you can build an assault rifle and build you could build an AR-15 using different parts. So like you get the barrel from one gun. Right. You get the handle and all this shit from different assault rifles and build your own gun. Right. And you legally own that gun, take it home the same day. You could drive, if you want to take it back to Cali, you could take it back to Cali the same day. It's in your possession. It's now legal. They can't really do nothing. The cop fed law, like you can't do shit because they bought that gun in a state where that gun is legal. So like we have to switch those laws to where people can't just be able to have easy access to guns, especially in states where like this doesn't happen a lot. This doesn't happen a lot in Cali, but because we have our strict gun laws, and same thing with I think New York, we have they're strict gun laws. Yeah. But in the states where the gun, like Atlanta, Texas, Florida, all these places where you could fucking be 18 or whatever and just go buy a gun, Arizona, they need to change the laws, because if not, we're gonna finish off 2021 and have fucking 5,000 mass shootings because people are just able to get guns and do whatever the fuck they want.
You know what's crazy? I came from a country where none of us were able to obtain guns. Like it wasn't a right, you know, like you can't get a gun in Vietnam. So there wasn't really that many, like there wasn't any fucking mass shooting ever on the news. We don't really, it was more like stabbing because that's the only thing you can get your hands on.
A knife.
But when I got over here, I was like, fuck, people can just have guns. Like it was just like a thought in my head where I was like, this is wild. This is like a Wild West out here. Like people can just own multiple guns, and in certain states you can carry them on you, you know? But it's also like the beautiful thing about America is that those things are allowed, but also like anything that's beautiful with this place comes with a negative,
with the ugly part too.
Right. And it's like I'm not gonna sit here and try to tell people you should or you shouldn't have guns. At the end of the day, I just think we need to figure out a way where we can regulate who is having a gun, you know. But at the end of the day, also it's so hard to do that because like you're not constantly surveilling people, so you obviously don't know who can get their hands on a gun. Or so like I just don't see how this shit's gonna stop. Like it sounds so bad, but
we have to put laws in. If we don't put laws in that will keep these like, man, fuck these gun laws. Like at some point, I don't give a fuck how much you love your guns. You have to be sick of seeing all these children getting shot up in schools or whatever it may be. Like I don't want my daughter I don't want to go to school and have to worry about that with my daughter, that she might not come home to me because someone committed a mass shooting at her school and she was one of the victims. Like no parent should have to feel that way sending their child to school. Imagine
you're the parent and your kids go to that school where already in 2020
I'm transferring them. They're not going to that school no more. If they make it out alive, my kid will not. I don't give a fuck about your friends. I'll fuck all that. You're not going to that school no more.
No, there's
You're
no way.
You're going to a school where I'll send your ass to a school where I know it's
I'll drive you 30 miles away if it has to.
I'm not putting you in that situation, because if someone kills my daughter, I'm going to be up there at the school with my own gun looking for the mother. I don't give a fuck if it is a kid. You about to get shot by me at this point. Like, you're not about to just kill my child because you got some mental health problems or whatever the fuck it may be, or you felt like you got bullied. Right. Because, I mean, I get it. Yeah. These people get bullied. They have mental health problems, and that's why they end up sometimes, not everyone, but that's why sometimes they end up committing these mass murders. But my child's not going to be involved in that because your ass is going to die. You're not leaving out that school alive. I don't give a fuck if they carry you out in handcuffs. I'm going to be waiting there to shoot your ass if I got to go to jail.
Isn't it like certain school have metal detectors? I feel like every
schools
school
in the hood. Here's the thing.
I feel
schools
like
in the hood have metal detectors.
Wait.
And statistics
none
will
of
show
our school had it though. No. I think Lawndale had it for like
not really.
For a couple days.
Maybe for a couple days, but you got like I know schools in Compton, schools in South LA, they have metal detectors because of the gang violence.
Right.
But they also, you never hear, the most you hear about like Locke, like Fremont, like these schools that are in South LA that are ghetto or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
They have metal detectors, but the bad thing you hear is like there's riots and there's people fighting. Maybe a kid got stabbed in the riot, in the gang riot or whatever.
Right.
But you don't hear about these gang members, these
shooting
young
kids,
gang members bringing guns to school and shooting kids. And if it happens, they're shooting a rival gang member and that's it. They not saying, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna just kill everybody in the school because I got mental health problems. Right. So yes, we need to focus on gun control, but there has to be a better thing when it comes to mental health for these kids that are going through this.
Right. Yeah, no, because I can't see how the kids can go back to the school knowing that now is the fifth shooting.
If there was when we was in high school,
and I can't even see how that school can go on for.
Well, they closed down for 2 days now, so they
need to close down for a week at least, bare minimum.
Well, you can't keep the kids. You can't
That's
let the
true.
kids fall that far behind.
Right, you can't
because of one idiot. I don't give a fuck if he was sick or whatever. You can't let the kids fall behind for one idiot.
Right.
For one fuck up.
So every kid in that school, like whatever they're going through, is you should not be going through.
In this country, we need to fix gun control. That's all it is.
Yeah.
We need to fix gun control. We need to take more initiative when it comes to kids that have mental health problems, or we need to take more initiative if kids are getting bullied and this is what they're resorting to because they feel like there's no other way.
Do you think
we need to start enforcing this stuff so it'll stop happening?
Obviously we're young, right? So we didn't know what the fuck that was going on in the 80s and the 90s. But like, I guess I got to go back and check the stats on it. But I just wonder, has school shooting gone up throughout the years?
No, it's gone up a lot throughout the years. I've looked at the stat. I remember this. They brought this up around when the what was that in Florida, Parkland? When that shooting happened in Florida with what was the dude, back, right? Nicholas Cruz, the dude that killed all those people at Parkland High School in Florida, or whatever, or Stony, whatever that high school was called, but it was in Parkland, Florida. Right. That was like a couple years ago. I remember because that was when it was getting bad. That happened, and then the shit at the gay nightclub happened when they killed all those people, and then it was something else. It was like back to back to back, like 5 weeks in a row. Shit just happening. They brought up the stats. School shootings ever since Columbine have went up a lot.
And do you think that has something to do with like society, with like the internet nowadays and all that stuff?
It does.
And I think the internet really plays a big role in the kids' mind, just because like they're consuming it a lot more, because parents just kind of gives them this fucking iPad and they're suddenly on it, and then they don't know how to react to cyberbullying, or they don't know how to react to
it. All comes. Sorry to interrupt you, but yes, it all comes down to cyberbullying and all that shit you just said.
And also, I'm gonna let you like if certain kids that feel left out or lonely at school, and go
no, you're good, because that's exactly what I was gonna get into.
Okay,
it comes down to cyberbullying. People need to So a lot of these like Nicholas Cruz, like he might have been fucked up in the head. He might have had his little racist history, whatever they wanted to say.
Right.
But at the end of the day, he was getting bullied at school. If you're getting cyberbullied and you feel like the only way that you can stop the bullies is by going and shooting up the school,
right?
The school failed there. If he's getting cyberbullied and it's getting reported, they need to do something about it.
Right.
Stop letting him get cyberbullied, because you never know what anybody is capable of. 2, we need to just, with the gun laws, we have to, like, there should be no reason for kids to be able to get access to guns.
Right. I was going to say to that. The parents should, if a kid somehow gets their hand on a gun, the parents should be charged, because there's, and I think this thing of like, there's no, like, parents who expose their kids to guns at an early age shouldn't be allowed. Your kids should never even get their hands on, playful.
The reason I can't say that, because like people hunt. There's a lot of people who hunt and they teach their kids how to hunt at a young age, and their kids don't go off, and because they know how to hunt and use a gun, they don't go off and fucking shoot up their schools.
Right.
It all like you said, it falls down to the parents, but it falls down. Parents need to start being parents.
Yeah.
if your kid is having problems, whether they're getting bullied, whether they have mental health issues,
right,
you need to be a parent. Stop. I'm sick of seeing, and this might sound fucked up, but I'm sick of seeing parents being like, "Oh, my son was not like that. He would never do this. We didn't see this coming."
Right.
Be a parent, and you will see. If you be a parent, if you're in your child's life, you'll see it coming.
Right.
You'll see that they're having these problems. You'll see that they might have these mental health problems. You'll see that they might be suicidal, that they might have shit talking about they hate everybody. They want to kill everybody that bullies them, or they might want to kill everybody because they feel alone or whatever.
Right.
If you're being an actual parent, you will really see this shit.
So
it falls back on the parent. It falls back on the school. It falls back on the government. It falls back on the parent. None of this on the kids.
Since you're a parent now, like, do you think if a kid is going through this kind of mental health issues and all that, etc., the best way to kind of like prevent anything like this happen is to by like really governing them and kind of like really like micromanaging them, or should you let the student be more free? Because my thing is always like, if I ever was a parent, I always see myself as like a free parent. Like I won't, basically hold my kid in a jail cell and like really be, because I feel like that tactic kind of like starts to stir the kid more and make them more insane, because they feel like they have to abide by every law. And why is there so many laws in the household? So like as a parent, like if your kids is going through this kind of shit, like what is the best way to minimize the negative impact on them? Like, is it to just always watch over them, or is it to give them space? It's always a tough question.
You have to do a little of both. And I'll use an example. So my little sister,
right,
on my mom's side, it was when before we moved to Lakewood, when we were still living in Hawthorne.
Right.
She was going to Prairie Vista, and there was a time where like kids were cyberbullying her, and she came home crying. Like, as a brother, like you bully your little siblings because you're just. But like she came home crying one day, and she was telling my grandma, and my mom, how kids at school was cyberbullying her. They were going on like Instagram and stuff, saying mean things about her. So I instantly was like, okay, that's what's not about to happen. So I don't know what my mom was gonna do something about it, but I was cussing to my mom, and this is like I'm like 19, 20, 21 at the time. I'm like, no, I'm like, fuck that. You are going up to the school tomorrow. I'm like, if you don't go up to the school tomorrow and you don't say something, I'm gonna go up there and I'm gonna figure out who these kids are. And I know a lot of these kids have siblings, older siblings that we know. I'm gonna start fucking people up. You're not about to just cyberbully my sister. Right. Parents need to be more proactive. Right. Parents need to start being more proactive. The loved ones that care about these kids that are being, because not all, let's preface this. Not all people who get cyberbullied, not all people who are these mass shooters or school shooters are getting cyberbullied. It all comes down to mental health. But sometimes with those, it ends up these people get bullied and they get pushed to their breaking point. Right. Parents need to be more proactive. If your child is getting bullied, when I was about to go up there myself and cuss out the staff at that middle school, you're not about to just let these kids keep talking shit online. If y'all don't do shit about it, I'm gonna do shit about it. I'll fight some little ass kids. I don't give a fuck. I'll beat up some 8th graders. You're not about, because it was dudes too. No, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. No, hell no. Okay. No, hell no. All right. Not about, I don't give, because it wasn't just women. I'm not talking about the chicks. Like,
I'm not going to jail today.
I'll go to jail for my little sister. Ain't no fucking little 8th grade boys about to say some nut ass shit about my little sister. I'll punch your ass in your little ass chest.
I do think
that's not gonna happen. I don't give a fuck about. I'll go to jail for my little sister.
I do think parents, not all parents, but a lot of parents in America are kind of like very soft. They're just like, oh, my kids is suffering from bullying, and then just kind of like, oh, my kids is, oh, are you okay? And they coddle the kid. I'm like, no, you go and you say some shit, or you let that, or you don't, or it doesn't affect you.
Like, you know me, I'm different from a lot of these parents. Let my daughter be in school and she come home and tell me that she's being bullied or people are bullying her on social media. That school will get turned the fucking upside down the next day. I will be in there. They're going to have to call the cops to get me out of there. I ain't going to be trying to fight no little ass kids, but I'm an adult with my daughter.
You about to pull opposite of a Karen out of school?
Yeah, they'll be like, okay, this black man is in here angry as fuck. We got to call the police. We afraid he going to beat up. I'll fucking punch one of them fucking teachers in their fucking face.
What's the name for a black angry person?
I don't know, Tyrone or Daquan or something.
You want to be a Tyrone? He coming to school with Tyrone, these little kids.
But think about it, though. Like, if that's my daughter,
I'm
and
sorry,
she
I didn't mean to
home,
say that.
No, you good.
Okay.
But if that's my daughter and she come home and she talking about people are cyberbullying her, and I go to the school and they give me some bullshit response, I will turn that fucking office upside down.